So 3 more dead, 11 more injured, with links back to Hamas just after the ceasefire, killing innocent people, literally killing innocent people this time. And then I turn on the news to see a spokesperson for the Israeli government saying that they're going to completely end Hamas, that their time has come and that they need to be wiped off the map. This is getting ridiculous. This is going to continue. This is going to continue until the UN, or quite frankly, anyone in authority, in power, starts calling out these leaders for these egregious positions of completely wiping off another human race, ethnicity, state, whatever you want to identify it as, off the map. So insane. You know, this certainly constitutes war crimes, and the leaders need to be held accountable. There's really quite no other way to phrase it. And then I turn on the TV to see that a spokesperson who, not her first time, has multiple times called for the exhalation and destruction of Hamas. Does that include all the innocent people, all the innocent women and children who probably want nothing more but then to live a prosperous life, who want to enjoy a world full of peace? Does that include them? It doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, if the UN specifically doesn't start taking actions of prosecuting war crimes, this will continue. And if you're listening to this, then you probably agree. And if you want to do something about it, find a way to reach out to your senators, your congressmen, send emails out to the UN. Tell them, post on social media, tell them that you want war crimes to be charged against the leaders of Hamas and Israel, because this is going to continue until the leaders are held accountable. And it's even more than just Israel, Hamas. Maybe the fighting will die down there, or the news will flip over to some other war that's occurring in another part of the country or another part of the world. And the leaders will still not be held accountable. Now, I don't know why nobody else is calling for this. It really racks my brain. I'm not sure if that's how expression is used, but it is crazy. We have these laws in place. The Geneva Convention was put in place to protect innocent people. And quite frankly, after reading it more in depth, I think it's too lenient. Anytime an innocent person is killed, the leaders of that country, of that militant group, should face war crimes, should face a trial and be prosecuted for war crimes. And again, they should see their due day in court. We don't just throw out the entire justice system for such heinous acts, but they need to see their day in court. And it doesn't make sense to me why nobody else is calling for this. This is not an Israel versus Hamas situation. This is the leaders versus the innocent people. The innocent people don't want this. They don't want to be in fear. They don't want to be scared for their lives. They don't want to be unsure if they're going to make it through the next day. They want peace and prosperity. I'm sure 95% plus, probably 99% plus of Hamas and Israelis, the innocent ones, don't want the innocent ones getting hurt or killed. I've done so much traveling in my life. That there's good people everywhere. No matter what the government system is that's set up or the person that's in power, The innocent civilians, the innocent citizens of the country are amazing people. And I've been to Israel. I can say this firsthand that I know that in their case. I have not been to Gaza, so I can't personally say that, but I've gathered enough data points to anecdotally say that I'm sure that the Palestinian people are great people. Heck, I know a couple. They're great. Until the leadership radicalizes their people and says, oh, this group, they need to die. They need to be wiped off the map. How is that not a form of terrorism? The leader of a country saying that someone needs to be wiped off the map? We need to have another Geneva Convention. We do, because these rules, these laws around war crimes are way too lenient. Way too lenient. It's sad. It's really sad, but I am also very hopeful that we're on the brink of a great awakening, a great revolution, peaceful revolution, where we can actually hold leaders accountable. And this is the way it is with all wars. All wars. There's nothing different here. Especially whenever you turn on the TV and see spokesmen, spokespersons for one of the sides, in air quotes, calling for the complete destruction of another. And I seriously would ask that person, do you mean the innocent women and children? Do they need to be killed just because of where they were born, the situation they were born into? The ones who enjoy going to school, enjoy learning, enjoy growing, love the moments that they've created with their family. Do they need to die as well? Are they included in your complete destruction of a human race? It's ridiculous. It makes me feel as though these leaders are 6-year-olds running around on a playground, getting into fights, and then the teachers come over and say, oh, okay, here's some guns. Yeah, keep fighting. Go ahead. But it's even worse than that. It's because the two who are fighting don't suffer any of the consequences. So where is the incentive for them to stop fighting? It does not exist. It's time for this to end. And I'm telling you, if you feel like this is hopeless, know that it's not. Know that you can take action. It's quite simple. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see how I took action by going to the UN, delivering a letter to Secretary General Antonio Guterres calling for war crimes against both the leaders. They're both guilty. That's probably unfair. They both need to see their day in court. They both for sure need to see their day in court, because too many innocents have died at this point. And even military personnel. If you know anybody in the military, ask them this. Ask them. Ask them if they were allowed to question why they were going in and killing other people, why they needed to take over certain objective points. Ask them these things, and I can promise you, they'll tell you that they're not allowed to ask questions. All they can do is carry out the mission. And if they don't do it, then their brother's going to do it. So they might as well do it. So quite frankly, even the people that are carrying out these actions are in a way, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but in a way, deserve to be looked at in a similar light. We need to put this aside. We need to target, no. We need to prosecute. We need to prosecute the leaders of these nations when war crimes have been committed.